Various geographical institutes 1. Hydrographic Biological Commission Scandinavia 2. Marine Biological Association United Kingdom 3. Research Institute of Marine Fisheries Canada 4. Coast and Geodetic Survey United States. Geographers and Contribution 1. Tetrahedral Hypothesis Lothian Green 2. Pear-shaped Earth Deformation Genes and Solace 3. Concept of Succession, Climatic Climax, Monoclimax Clemensford. Concept of Polyclimax Whitaker. Marine Sediments S Zone of Ocean Percentage of Total Marine Deposits 1. Continental Shelf 15% 2. Continental Slopes 41% 3. Continental Rises 31% 4. Deep Ocean Floor 13%. Oceanic Zones and Types of Deposits 1. Continental Margins Organic Matter 2. Shallow Sea Sands, Silt 3. Buthill Region Blue Mud, Green Mud 4. Abyssal Plain Dews. Gunchanthory Geography Notes 104. Deposits and percentage area occupied 1. Littoral and shallow water deposit 9% 2. Deep sea terrigenous deposits 15% 3. Galagicus and red clay 75%. Terms used for deserts have mud bare rock or rock with a thin veneer of pebble. Arabic Reg Desert pavement of loose stones. Then Africa Sahir Desert pavement of loose stones. Coarser and older than Reg than Africa. The extensive sandy plain than Africa. Berg vast region deeply covered with sand and topped by sand dunes than Africa. Fly extremely flat vegetation-free area of silt or clay in the lowest part of a closed basin. Salina playa with saline water or kept moist by rising groundwater. Shot closed basin containing a dry lake or playa than African. Clouds and characteristics. CO cumulus mackerel sky cirrus mare's tail as they resemble horse's tail. Cumulus cauliflower heads. Alto stratus watery. The terms mesotherms equatorial and tropical. Tropical rainforests. Mesotherms tropical and subtropical. Tropical deciduous forests. Microtherms temperate and high altitude. Pescatotherms Arctic and alpine regions. Landforms classification. First order oceans. Continents. Second order mountain systems. Physiographic provinces. Third order mountain ranges. Major valleys. Fourth order volcanoes. Fault blocks. Valleys. Fifth order cinder cones. Deltas. Playa lakes. Sixth order sand dunes. Terraces. Miscellaneous facts. 1. The eastern regions of humid subtropical areas receive rainfall throughout the year like equatorial regions. Isotherms are irregular but closely spaced in northern hemisphere. 2. Alpha Centauri is also known as Proxima Centauri. Hemisphere lies above mesosphere. Oxbow Lake is a characteristic of the river in its old age. 3. Steam fog occurs when cold air blows over warmer waters, and advection fog occurs when moist air blows over cold surface. The only gas not uniformly distributed over the entire atmosphere is ozone. Gunchanthory Geography Notes 105. For 1 nautical mile is equal to 1.85 kilometers and 1 mile is equal to 1.6 kms. Albatross Cordillera is in Pacific Ocean. 5. Prince Edward Crozet Ridge and Amsterdam Street. Paul Plateau are located in the Indian Ocean. Lukshadweep Shadows Ridge Street. Paul Ridge, Amsterdam St. Paul Plateau divide the Indian Ocean into almost 2 basins. 6. Emperor Seamount Chain is in the Pacific Ocean. The maximum width of the continental shelf is off the Arctic coast of Siberia. The deepest continental shelves surround Antarctica. In most of the areas the continental shelf is formed by constructive ocean. 7. The evolution of mid-Atlantic ridge can be dated back to Pliocene age. 8. Continental shelf has maximum depth of 200 m. Continental slope has a depth of about 3,600 meters. Abyssal hills have height of 1,000 meters and views are 1,100 meters high. 9. Zaire Canyon is River Rhine. Canyons of South California are dendritic. Canyons of Bering Sea are the largest, and Oceanographer Canyon is small gorge. 10. The Atlantic Ocean has the maximum percentage of continental shelf area followed by Pacific and Indian. 11. Red clay deposit is widely found in Pacific Ocean. Pteropod is found mainly only in the Atlantic Ocean. Radiolarian and diatom dews can be found at greater depth than pteropod and globigerina dews because siliceous dews are less soluble while calcareous dews are easily soluble. 12. The zone in which the density of water increases with increasing depth is called pycnocline zone. 13. Silt is smaller in size than sand but larger than clay. Pebble is smaller than cobble. 14. Salinity of ocean is a function of latitude. Gulf of Bothnia records the lowest salinity of less than 2%. 15. Lower the salinity, higher is the freezing point. 16. Kielfinal shortens the distance between London and Kaliningrad. 17. Sea horizon is not a part of mineral horizon. The dominant species of an ecosystem are more prone to climatic changes. Transformation process of pedogenic regime includes humidification and mineralization. Intiersols are also highly productive in some regions. Chelating agents are associated with the process of podzolization. 18. Climate and biotic factors are active soil forming factors, whereas time, topography, and parent rock are passive. The transition zone between two ecosystems is called ecotone. Allelopathy is a phenomenon in which toxins produced by one species inhibit the growth of others. 19. USDA soils and their zonal equivalents are vertisols, grumbusols, mollisols, chernozems, podosols, podzols, and alphasols, degraded chernozems. The loam serves as an ideal parent material for chernozem soils. Gunchanthory Geography notes 106. 20. Soils and vegetation supported are brown earth, deciduous forests, podzol, heath forest, chernozem, steppe grasses, grumbusol, savanna grasses. Tropical heath forest, also known as Karangas forest, is a type of forest found on the island of Borneo, especially in Brunei. 21. The types of humus in terrestrial environment are moor, moder, and mole. Moor is a type of humus, which occur largely in coniferous forest soils and moorlands soils. This humus arises under conditions of low biological activity in soil. Moder is a transitional form of humus between mole and moder, characteristic for subpodzolic soils, loessous and mountain grassland soils. Mole is a type of humus characteristic for chestnut soils and arises under grassland conditions. Mole is well humidified organic matter. The favorable pH for the growth of cereal crops is 6.5. 22. Climax community, which is the hypothetical optimal community that would eventually develop under ideal conditions and without human interference. If climate dictates the nature of this community, we describe this as a climactic climax, whereas if the soil conditions limit the type of climax that develops, we speak of an edaphic climax, e.g. savanna. Where there has been some interference that degrades the climax, we say that secondary succession has occurred, and if we now view this secondary community as on its way back to the climax, we can refer to this as a subclimax. 23. Estivation refers to the state of inactivity adopted by desert animals during the hottest and driest season. The oldest animal fossil has been found in Zambia. 24. Devonian period is the age of fishes. Damidians and reptiles evolved during Carboniferous period. 25. Sunspots are ocular areas of the sun. The dark lines in corona are called Fraunhofer lines. 26. For an earthquake at a particular spot, the shadow zone of P waves invariably exist between 103 and 143 degree form the earthquake focus. 27. The variation of wind with elevation through the friction layer is represented by an equiangular spiral known as the Ekman spiral. Beaufort scale ranges from 0 to 12. 28. Saturn is known as jewel planet and Venus as veiled planet. 29. Primary waves can change into secondary waves under certain conditions due to refraction. Surface waves or long-period waves cover the longest distance of all seismic waves. Focus is also known as hypocenter. Essential extra reference. How to calculate the sun's latitude at solstice for various latitudes. World population data K Siddhartha Ensemble Appendix GEO of India page 13 by Saz. Z. Map references.